Many call them kingdoms, but I prefer calling them African states that existed before colonial time. In this video, we bring you the most powerful African kingdoms before colonial time. And we'll be looking at those that were most powerful according to the African regions. That is West Africa, East Africa, and the southern part of Africa. But if you're new here, my name is Gani and this is the African Myth Show, where I spread good vibes about the African continent. So if you want to learn more about the African continent and African culture in general, please consider subscribing. Turn that bell notification on as well, so that whenever I have a new video out, I get you notified. And also remember that towards every end of my videos, I share a free Swahili lesson. This is simply because Swahili is the most spoken African language on the African continent. So be sure to look out for that. The Kingdom of Mutapa. This existed in the southern part of Africa between the 15th and the 17th century. This kingdom was founded by King Mutapa in 1450. Stories say that he had been sent to the northern part of River Zambezi to basically find out what was existing there and also to get salt. So as he got to this area, he actually started conquering the areas and places that were around this area, and this is how the kingdom got into existence. The kingdom headquarters were around the Mukaranga region in the present-day Zimbabwe, and this kingdom was able to spread out throughout the entire southern Africa region. King Mutapa and his people heavily relied on trade around the East African region with the Arabs, and majorly the things they dealt in were gold and also the ivory from the animals. In some of the stories in the ancient history, they say that he had quite a very young army, because many of these people, or many of the warriors that were in his army, they had been trained in his palace. These young men first worked as his helpers, and later when they became of age at around 20, they were recruited into the army with already pre-existing skills on how to handle everything about military. In the latter years of the kingdom, it experienced so many civil wars amongst itself, and this weakened it more and more, leading to so many deaths of its people. And then when the Portuguese came in to conquer this area under the guidance of Vasco da Gama, they were finally able to lead to the collapse of this kingdom, and by 1633 they finally took charge of this kingdom, and finally it was able to submit to Portuguese rule. The Kingdom of Abyssinia was a major force in the East African region around the Horn of Africa. It was founded in the 13th century, and later it became the Ethiopian Empire after a series of conquests around this area, and this kingdom lasted up to the 20th century. The kingdom is believed to have been established by the kings of the Solomonid dynasty, whose descent traces back to King Solomon from the Holy Bible. It was mainly a Christian kingdom, and this helped spread Christianity via military conquests and expanding the kingdom to far wide areas around this region. So as they kept spreading Christianity, also they were spreading the kingdom values to all the areas around this region of the East African Horn area, and this led to further expansion of this kingdom, and later they were able to conquer many of these areas around this region. As we all know today, Ethiopia is the second most populated African country, so this partly tells you how much of how further this kingdom was able to expand and spread around this area. In the kingdom's later history, there were continued rivalries amongst the Solomonids, and also many of the communities around the East African region and also Southern Arabia had fully organized, and this finally led to the fall of the Abyssinian Empire. The Egyptians and Portuguese also got more interested in East Africa. History also tells us that many of the Christian churches that had been put up around this area, they were burnt down, and this finally also led to the collapse of the Abyssinian Empire. The Songhai Empire of West Africa existed and reigned between the 15th and the 16th century. This was the strongest and biggest empire in the entire West African region. And to be exact, it was at its strongest between 1460 and 1591. It came after the fall of the Mali Empire that had existed between 1240 and 1645. Through the guidance and great leadership of King Suni Ali, the Songhai Empire expanded its territories throughout West Africa, and it was able to conquer and capture most of the already existing chiefdoms in this area. And King Suni is also remembered to have had some of the lenient ways of leadership, in that many of the soldiers and warriors from these chiefdoms that they had captured, he was able to bring them in as his own soldiers, and he was able to dialogue and basically move on with them. The headquarters of the Songhai Empire were in Gao. This is the present day Mali, and they were able to control the Niger River using great marine and naval tactics. This greatly helped them control the trade along this river, because this river runs through so many countries like Nigeria, Benin, Niger, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Guinea. So this really helped them control this entire area, because all these places or all these areas depended on this river to carry out their trade and also do other activities like farming. By 1469, the Songhai Empire had an absolute control over the trade port of Timbuktu, where they heavily traded in gold. Unfortunately, in the later years, the Portuguese, under the leadership of Fernão Gomes, strongly took over most of the trade around this West African region. This partly led to the collapse of the Songhai Empire, and also the other reason that led to the collapse of the empire were the continued civil wars amongst its people. It is said that many of the kings that ruled this empire only ruled for short spells of time, because they faced very strong resistance from their subjects, and this kept going on, and finally the empire had to come to an end. I cannot finish this great history without mentioning some of these other great kingdoms that were on the African continent. For example, the Kingdom of Kush in North Africa, the Great Zimbabwe in South Africa, the Mali Empire in West Africa, the Ghana Empire in West Africa, the Buganda Kingdom in East Africa, and by the way, this is still existent to this day. And for our Swahili lesson for today, it is Nywele. Nywele is a word to mean hair in the Swahili language. So if I'm to put this into a sentence, I would say maybe naenda kukata nywele yangu. So this is basically a translation that I'm going for a haircut. So that's our Swahili lesson for today. And if you found this video very helpful, please give it that thumbs up. Don't forget to also consider subscribing to the channel, and also thank you so much for watching. Please watch this next video on the card.